On May 15th, a user on Twitter going by the name of Anti-Real would make a post adding Bungie and Marathon's franchise art director, claiming that the at the time newly released Marathon Alpha had directly lifted designs from their posters created all the way back in 2017. This single tweet may have been the final nail in the coffin for Marathon. The previously mentioned Alpha was widely panned, except for an IGN's review, by critics and gamers alike.
Marathon's aesthetic, the theme, the style is this guy's art. Oof, it's not good. It's not good.
Because the stone cold truth is that Bungie did use stolen assets all over Marathon. That is a fact.
Because this is going to be the conversation. This is going to be the main topic at hand all the way leading up to Marathon. First, it was, is Marathon capable? Can Bungie make a good game? Can they make an extraction shooter? Then it would divert it from that to, nah, man, it ain't going to be good. It's going to be dead on arrival. And now it's dead on arrival and they still aren't. Oh my God, dude.
Some felt that the core magic of extraction shooters were missing, or that this was such a wide departure from what people were expecting from Bungie, the creators of Halo, but also from the IP of Marathon, which was the spiritual predecessor and innovator of the beloved Halo series. Regardless, this alpha was not well received, but when the news that Bungie had plagiarized again, this dumpster fire had officially progressed into a full-on train derailment. This time was more absurd than ever before, simply because the art that was stolen is a straight one-to-one copy and paste. This led to Bungie making one of the most awkward developer live streams in all of gaming history, filled with technical issues.
Got some spelling errors in there.
Oh, yeah. So you got kicked out of the Discord for some reason. Like, I'm starting his machine, so that we might have a technical issue right now. Our director on Marathon.
In chat spamming plagiarism will make me God. A riff on Marathon's tagline, escape will make me God. The art director Joseph Cross is showcased front and center looking noticeably disheveled, and he admitted Anti-Real's designs were in fact plagiarized and promised to review their process to stop this from happening again. Cross stated that the plagiarism was a result of a lone artist who was no longer employed, and that they contacted and were talking with Anti-Real as well as looking into the possibility of commissioning her and using the designs in the game anyways. The rest of the stream was focused largely on gameplay and adjustments to be made to a variety of systems and features such as map layout, balancing the economy, and adjusting the rate of progression. After the stream, the internet was, justifiably so might I add, flooded with memes and videos covering each and every one of Marathon's pitfalls. There were many who, when looking at the sorry state that Marathon was already in, coupled with the new plagiarism controversy, wrote Marathon off as a Concord 2, a game that would be dead on launch. It wouldn't be until a month later on June 17th when they officially announced that they would be delaying the game from their original September 23rd release date. During said announcement, they made promises to up the survival game, add more social experiences, and double down on the Marathon universe, whatever that means. They close off the article saying they'll share more information in the fall, and then nothing. For months, Bungie didn't post any news and just quietly worked on Marathon. September 23rd came and went, and still nothing. On a real quick aside, if you enjoy this content, a like and a sub would be greatly appreciated, and let me know if you'll be playing Arc Raiders or Marathon whenever they release. It wouldn't be until the 6th of October when Marathon's team would finally release a new post. In it, they announced another playtest lasting the 22nd through the 28th of October, available for all next-gen consoles and Steam. Almost tucked away, a couple of paragraphs in, they dropped some absolute bombshell changes that could potentially save the game. The first is adding proximity chat, a core staple to extraction shooters and one of many ways to engage with the game, even potentially persuading somebody to let you live, or working together to take down difficult enemy AI. And 2, arguably even more importantly, the addition of solo queue. In case you didn't know, in an extraction shooter, queuing solo and getting placed with squads isn't that odd, but unlike in those games, Marathon doesn't have a way to quickly deal with multiple foes, like in Tarkov with the one shot to the head. This is made worse by a function that Bungie added to try and keep casuals engaged, where you could be revived from full death. Just like in Fortnite, Apex, or Warzone, in Marathon, you can resurrect your fully finished teammates. Although, unlike in those games, you don't need to go to some special location or have some special object. Instead, just go up to their death box, you hold a button, and boom, they're back. This led to people getting knocked, finished, and resurrected multiple times in skirmishes. So even as a solo player, if you were able to take someone down, unless you or some other team were able to move in and quickly capitalize on the situation, they could just res them and be completely fine. While the rezzing issue is something that they've said they are planning on changing, there are also a lot of players who simply don't want to have to play against other people while being solo. A lot of people also don't have 2 friends that they can be online to play with. The $40 price tag and media shitstorm around the game make it even harder to convince your friends to drop the $40. The addition of solo queue is so huge, and yet it still may not be enough. Unfortunately, once gamers form their opinions, it's almost impossible to get them to change. Take Watch Dogs for instance. The first game made numerous promises of a hacking wonderland where you could control the world with a tap of a button and delivered on none of it. Gamers wrote off Watch Dogs as a franchise, and even when Watch Dogs 2 came out and delivered on the shortcomings of its predecessor, it barely made a splash, at least compared to its quality. I truly believe Watch Dogs 2 is one of the best open world sandbox games of all time, and yet its fate was set in stone the moment it was associated with Watch Dogs 1. And while there have been games that have managed to earn back players' trust and admiration, like in the case of No Man's Sky or Cyberpunk, is Bungie really capable? In the case of No Man's Sky, it took years upon years of hard work and free updates, and is that really something Bungie is going to do with Marathon? And when looking at Cyberpunk, you have to keep in mind what made Cyberpunk so bad. It wasn't the quality of the content, but rather the fact the game was so poorly optimized and buggy that you couldn't even access the content in the game. Public opinion didn't really start to change until the anime Edgerunners was released. The anime revitalized interest in the IP and brought back so many people. And now, after all those bugs and performance issues were largely solved, people realized just how good the base game really was. Public sentiment would only continue to grow when patch 2.0 and the DLC, both of which were high quality and well received, came out. It's only after tirelessly hard work and absolute commitment that these games were able to come back. And what is the common thread? Hardworking developers and capable executives who are willing to do what's necessary to make their games thrive. The real question isn't whether or not Marathon will be dead on arrival, but rather, 1, if Bungie cares enough to continuously work on it instead of abandoning it on launch, like Concord or Gambit, and 2, if they can even survive long enough to see through with it. With Destiny 2 hitting an all-time low even when looking at Curse of Osiris, Marathon's everything, and the fact that Sony is currently curtailing Bungie's independence, it's unclear whether or not the industry legend Bungie will be around for much longer. In their October 6th post, they also announced at least 1 new playable character different from the alpha, a new map, and a couple more things. Anyone can sign up for this new closed alpha testing, but unfortunately it is under NDA, meaning you can't post or talk about what you experience. Ultimately, Marathon and Bungie are going to have a difficult road ahead, and I think only a massive over-delivery, something akin to Forsaken, will be enough to save them. Both of them. If you're interested in seeing if Bungie can pull off another Taken King or Forsaken, then you can sign up using the link in the description below. There's also a frequently asked questions, so if you have any questions, that should help. And then real quick, I wanted to go over my kind of thoughts on Marathon and if these changes really will save the game. Ultimately, I think if they do add in a solo queue, that will do amazing for the game. There's a lot of players who simply just can't get people to play or can't get them to play consistently, or the schedules just don't match up. And so something like a solo queue is definitely needed, especially considering there aren't really ways to kill multiple enemies quickly. I also think the game may just be too far gone. Like I said in the video, public perception is basically everything, especially when it comes to the more casual of gamers. And Bungie's in such a desperate state right now, I don't think Marathon is going to reach the goals that Bungie really needs it to for them to be fine. To be honest, most things that Bungie do nowadays seem like they happen too little too late. Overall, maybe Marathon could survive, but to be honest, with Destiny in the current state it is, I don't think Bungie lives long enough to make Marathon into a masterpiece. Like with Destiny 1 and Destiny 2, they both had potential, and they were both given the opportunity to see that come to fruition. With Marathon, I don't even think it'll get that chance. I don't think it'll have its Taken King moment or its Forsaken moment. I think it's gonna release, and then that's kind of just gonna be that. I want to say thank you to all the likes and comments on the previous videos. You know, YouTube loves those things, and it really helps with pushing out the content onto people's, For You pages who don't know me. I'll be live streaming the Arc Raider Server Slam October 17th, 18th, and 19th for most of the time, so if that's of interest in you, be sure to stop by, say hello. I'm on YouTube, so it'll be right here. You don't need to go onto any other platform. Other than that, I hope you have a wonderful day, and peace, people.